Welcome back to Supers Live. Wow, our first race ever at the famed Berlin Raceway, a track that helped give birth to the mighty Supermodifieds. And Keith put one on you, Powell, puts it in victory lane, the CPR Motorsports machine, with the icings on top sponsorship, set in victory lane here tonight at Berlin Raceway. Keith Powell, how good does it feel to win Super's inaugural race at Berlin Raceway?
Oh, it feels pretty awesome, even though it is, that state up north. But no, it's awesome. Winning the first race here. Uh, it was pretty neat. I was kind of hoping to try to go for the track record, but congrats to you on that. There's no way I could have even touched that. So congrats on setting a new track record at this joint. But yeah, we got lucky and got to start on the pole and got clean air from the start, and that made a big difference. But I heard Rob the whole first, I don't know, 30% of the race. I could just hear his motor, and I had a good car from center off, but I just had to be patient with it on entry, and it's hard to be patient with your car on entry beginning of the race with Rob right on your tail. We know how good he is, especially for, right off the bat. Uh, so I was really struggling just to hit my mark, but maybe about one third of the way into the race, I started getting into a nice rhythm. The car was getting more and more predictable, and I could just slowly inch my way forward and kind of get away from him a little bit. But yeah, it feels great to be here in Victory Lane, and not chasing a 35 and him chasing me for once. So that's pretty neat. Real quick, I got to thank Supers. Gotta thank them and Kevin Timmons and Hairbank Studios. I hope the video was it looked as fun as it was racing here tonight. So gotta thank them for putting on this inaugural race here after 16 years, and gotta thank Icy's on top, CPR Motorsports, First Finish Race Servers. It's just without them um, putting in a lot of work. This just we wouldn't be around, and it sure wouldn't be as fun as it is. So thanks again, and congrats to you, Bobby, again on the new track record. Congrats on another podium. First three races, three podiums for you. So good run for you, and hope you had a pretty fun race tonight.
Talking about that a little bit in the broadcast, the podium hasn't changed in three races. It's switched around tonight though, and that's going to help you in the points championship. And both of you said, "I'm not going for points this year. I just want to win races." But it seems like it's the Powell Warren show. Three races in, going into the North Carolina swing next week.
Yeah, it sure does seem that way, and it seems like I left off, or I started this season right where I left off, or Rob started season right where he left off. So we're telling each other, yeah, points is going to matter this season. There's going to be a lot of different winners, a lot of people, fighting top 4 or 5, especially when we get deep into these R Factor races. And some of the guys will be able to start running with us. Hopefully, my teammate can make it next week, with work and moving. Fortunately, he missed some racing. I know he's itching to get back with us. So, um, me and Rob's telling each other that, but it's just kind of ending up that we'll probably be battling all season long. But we'll definitely have fun doing it, and we'll just see how it shakes out. But I don't think it's going to be me and him all season long. I really don't, unless there's guys just miss races. But fighting for wins is definitely going to be tough this season. A lot of good guys run this league right now.
Congratulations, Keith. What a good run for you here tonight, and You are making this points battle fun early in the season. Keith, put one on you, Powell. Driving the CPR Motorsports Icings on Top, number 41, comes home with the win. Very first Supers race at Berlin Raceway. Second place goes to Rocket Rob Warren. A bit of a flop for the first two. But second place, not too shabby, Rob. Congratulations on another good run here. First time at Berlin Raceway. You were right there for a little while with Keith Powell, but then dropped back some. What happened?
I paid attention to how good that 41 was apex off and said, all right, what do I have to do to be that good apex off? And that ruined where I was good, which was entry. Congrats, Keith. That was a whale of a run. That was impressive. The first 8-10 laps, I didn't think he had the car to win it. He would enter the corner kind of a little high and kind of a little overpowered. And then he'd bring it to the bottom, and then he'd drive off and just vanish. And then he'd enter the corner a little high and a little overpowered, and then he'd drive off and vanish. And it was like, oh my goodness, Keith, I was right there for, I don't know, it didn't seem like long, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 18 laps. It wasn't that long. And once he got me out of his mind, he just set sail. And about the same time that happened, I saw the 25's front wing to my right rear. And I'm like, oh, I really have to defend as well as try and make up the time that I just lost because I just did a bonehead move. Now, corner entry, Keith had two, not even mistakes, just two slight overdrive entries. And I went there, both in turn one. And I'm like, oh, he's coming down. And yeah, I could have shoved him out of the way, but that's not the way Keith races. So that's not the way I was going to race Keith. It was pretty spectacular the way that car was holding onto the track from the apex off. And awesome driving by Keith. And of course, he had the car at the end where I never do. I used mine up in the first half trying to get away from him. But so, mad congrats to Keith. As well as you, Bob, fastest lap of the race. And probably not because of my draft, because I was not doing fantastical things behind the wheel. I was trying all sorts of things to catch up to Keith, and none of them worked. Real quick, got to thank SUPRS.net for everything they do. Heat Finder for, helping us out with peeps and with their little vote thing going on. That's pretty awesome. Don't vote for me, by the way. Vote for Speedy Man. He is the racer of the year, in my opinion, with Keith Powell as a very close second. Unfortunately, he's not nominated. He didn't race with NASCAR Heat. But definitely vote for the SUPRS projects. All of that stuff is important. All of that stuff, is what got us to where we are today. Big, huge thanks to Hairbag Studios. I've been jumping between two computers, listening to the live, watching the live, coming back to race, and going back to the live video. And huge thanks to SUPRS and you, Bob, for all you do. Also, one more shout out. Cindy Lou Who, you're getting a great big hug coming from Victory Circle. I'm certain of that. For the third, fourth, fifth, or sixth time, congrats, Keith. That was an awesome run.
Rocket Rob Warren, your second place finisher, satisfied with that run here tonight at Berlin Raceway. Folks, what a good night to start out here, or finish up in the state of Michigan. Just been a couple of great shows in the state that help give birth to the Supermodifieds. You want to learn more about real Supermodifieds, go to supers.net, click the About tab, and you can certainly learn about the real deal there. Go to Supermodified 101, photos, videos, and a little bit of an education for you if you've never seen them run before. You're going to have to wait until about April now to see them as winter hits. We have got a big show coming up next week. In fact, we've got 5 tracks, 3 nights, 2 sim racing platforms, and 1 champion. It's the 16th annual North Carolina Swing coming up next week on the SUPRS Broadcasting Network. It will run both NASCAR Heat and R Factor. We're putting another new track on the schedule this year, Orange County Speedway in Rougemont, North Carolina, built by Speedy Man. And we are excited to be able to run that. That'll take the place of Caraway that we've run for so many years in the past. But coming up, starting on Tuesday, we'll run 2 races, 2 40-lappers, a 40-lapper at Pave de Serra, a fictional NASCAR Heat track. Then we'll go to Orange County Speedway the next night, and or the same night for another 40-lapper. On Wednesday night, we'll run Southern National Speedway for a 50-lapper, Concord Motorsports Park for a 50-lapper, and if the drivers are in the top 8, they get invited to the Hickory Hustle for the 3rd night. The Hickory Hustle takes the top 8 from points of the North Carolina Swing, puts them in a winner-take-all race for 75 laps at the famed Hickory Motor Speedway, and it is a knockdown, drag-out, cool race. It's all about taking care of equipment and the right rear tire for those 75 laps. And when you come out on top, you get 10 bonus points added to your championship tally and are crowned the North Carolina Swing Champion. So join us next week, Tuesday through Thursday, for the 16th Annual North Carolina Swing. Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel. The broadcast from tonight will be up within 72 hours. You can watch it all at your leisure on demand on our YouTube. Go to youtube.com/user/Supers Online Racing. Follow us online at Twitter or on Twitter at Supers Online. See lots of real super modified videos that we share from our YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit that follow button on Twitch. And finally, don't forget to go to heatfinder.net/vote. Vote for our series champion, Rob Warren, as the Heat Finder 18th Anniversary Community Awards Driver of the Year. Super's up for a couple of nominations as well. You can go to heatfinder.net, learn more about NASCAR Heat, the game that we raced here tonight, and enjoy racing throughout our 43-race winter season. Well, folks, we're leaving Michigan. We're headed to North Carolina, and we hope that you're headed towards the follow button on Twitch, and you will join us next week for the 16th Annual North Carolina Swing. Thanks to breezegraphics.com for all the fantastic-looking graphics. Thanks also to Hairbag Studios and Kevin Timmons, our video producer. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Stop by his company, breezegraphics.com, and check out some of the awesome-looking super-modified decals. Thanks to First Finish Race Service. Couldn't do it without them. Keeping all of our servers going here tonight, from video all the way down to our TeamSpeak channel. And thanks also to Icings on Top, the sponsor of the Supers Icings on Top Rookie of the Year Award, as well as the Supers Triple Crown of Super Modified Sim Racing Award. Icings on Top for all your specialty cake needs. We will see you next week in the Tar Heel State for the 16th Annual North Carolina Swing. Until then, if you're headed over any mountains, make sure you keep it wing side up and wheels to the ground.
Someone you love, and if you're going through it, I say do it with someone you love. I've been around a long time, in and out of love, but if you're gonna do it, I say do it with someone you love. Come on, do it.